What's up everyone and welcome back to the Stonadge'es channel, and it's a pre-recorded video. I know I haven't done many of these recently, but I thought I'd do this because Tottenham Hotspur are in the dumps. Antonio Conte has had his side dumped out of the Champions League by AC Milan this week, and a win against Nottingham Forest potentially today could keep him in a job, and they are also in 4th place, but it's widely regarded that he is going to leave the club sooner rather than later. I've come up with 5 managers to replace Antonio Conte next season. Before we get into those 5 managers though, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1.1k as soon as we can, and there will be more live streams coming and more videos coming as well. So let's get into the 5 managers then, and at number 5, I'm going to go from least likely to most likely. So at number 5, I've gone for Thomas Frank. So I think we will be seeing the name of Thomas Frank listed at, to be honest, at pretty much every top job or every perceived job or the next step up anyway in the next few years. He has done an absolutely exceptional job at Brentford. After Dean Smith left the club to join Aston Villa back in 2018, Thomas Frank took over and had guided them to the Premier League and also a very, very good finish last season of 11th. This year, they find themselves in the top half and are playing exceptional football, having not lost since before the World Cup. Now, Brentford play a brilliant, attractive, innovative style of football with long throws and set pieces, very much at the centre of Thomas Frank's regime at the Brentford Community Stadium, and I think he would be a really good fit for Spurs. Although they went for someone in a sort of a similar position as Nuno Espirito Santo, I think Thomas Frank is a little bit more forward-thinking. Despite the fact he's always had solid defences at Brentford, he's always had a great plethora of attacking options. Just think about when he first arrived with Ollie Watkins and Neil Maupay, and now to Brian Mbeumo and Ivan Toney. They've got plentiful options up front. And I think having him coach Harry Kane would be absolutely amazing. And I think he would play really, really well in his system. Whether Frank will be able to win a trophy with Tottenham, which I think will be the priority aim for any Spurs manager in the next few years, I don't know. But I think Thomas Frank will be a fantastic choice indeed. Next up at number 4, the next one most likely I've gone with Marco Silva of Fulham. So Marco Silva's last big job, shall we say, in inverted commas, was Everton, where he first finished 8th in his opening campaign at Goodison Park, which looks good now. We're looking back at it. I mean, Everton are now very much in relegation battles on a regular basis, but he's led Fulham to 7th place so far this season. Now, this is a little bit of a false position because they've played several games more than most other sides, but they are very much in contention to finish in the top half this season, which would be a monumental achievement for a promoted side. Now, let's not forget they bossed the Championship last season. Alexander Mitrovic scored 43 goals in the Championship last year. He's gone and scored double figures in the Premier League this year too, and they've also looked okay without him, with Carlos Vinicius deputising well. And Marco Silva needs to take so much credit for this. Fulham have been pretty abject in their last few seasons in the Premier League. So for him to get them up as well as he has done and look very, very comfortable and even potentially push for Europe is an amazing achievement. Now, Tottenham have several brackets of managers that they can look at. Silva and Frank are definitely in the sort of less reputational category and more upcoming. Marco Silva is still very much a young manager. He's someone that they can look at, and I think he would do a very, very good job at Spurs. Now, whether the fans would be too happy with that, I'm not too sure. He's obviously someone who failed realistically at Everton towards the end of his tenure. So that's the sort of similar level of job now. Spurs at this time, I know they're in 4th place in the league, but that is a false position, I think, as well. They have been really poor. Without Harry Kane, they wouldn't be where they are. So I think Silva would be a really, really good option for them. And number 3, I've gone for Christophe Galtier. Now, this is a man still in a job at PSG, but I think Conte will stay until the end of the season, and therefore Galtier may potentially be out of a job by then. Now, PSG were out of the Champions League now after being defeated 3-0 on aggregate by Bayern Munich and Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. But Galtier has got PSG playing some good football this season. Now, whether he can control the egos of Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, all at once, Sergio Ramos as well, whilst PSG also tried to go around a sort of a project-based notion, it's a very, very difficult thing. They have brought in a lot of young players, and Galtier has used them. But I've said it's a third most likely because I do think there is wearing tensions at PSG, but not only on, but off the field as well. Galtier is a good coach, a very good coach, led Lille to the Ligue 1 title, which leading any team apart from PSG to the Ligue 1 title is a massive achievement, and he did so with Lille exceptionally well. I mean, it's an amazing job, what he did there. And he's done well at PSG, but I just don't feel like if you go out in the last 16 in the Champions League, that you'll last very long there. So I've put him third, and it could well happen. Second on the list, I've gone for Thomas Tuchel. Now, he's going to be listed for pretty much every job in the world, and Tottenham, I think, is pretty unlikely, but he is unemployed at the moment, so I think he'll be on the list. Now, Tuchel obviously managed Chelsea, has had fiery combative games against Tottenham Hotspur. Who can forget that handshake with Conte? And realistically, I feel as if Conte and Tuchel are very, very similar-minded managers. Tuchel and Conte both continually fall out with boards. I think Tuchel's a nicer fella, if I'm being honest, and that's why I think he would probably do well at Spurs. They're both considered pretty quick fixes when it comes to winning trophies, so if Tottenham wanted to go the same direction with Thomas Tuchel, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. They should definitely prioritise winning a trophy. I think that's the biggest thing for Tottenham now, to get over that hoodoo before anything else. And they've got an amazing stadium, amazing facilities. So utilise those. And Tuchel, I think, can bring some good football to Spurs. Now, with Carlo Ancelotti's potential future at Real Madrid under pressure and potentially other jobs coming open across world football, Thomas Tuchel will be a difficult commodity to get hold of. But who knows? I think he's a top quality coach. Tottenham have attracted big quality coaches before, and I think they could do it again. And that's why I've gone for my number one, a very, very high-quality coach and a very familiar face at Tottenham Hotspur. I've gone with Mauricio Pochettino as the number one choice. Now, he is available. He didn't really do particularly well at Paris Saint-Germain despite winning a league. As it says, it seems very contradictory of me to say so. But fortunately, a job vacancy will be coming open at the end of the season for his former club. Now, he left the club in 11th place. He didn't really have the greatest start to 2019-20. But the club are now in a position of rebuild. And I think a revitalised Tottenham under Pochettino could become a real threat again. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they'll ever reach the heights they did in his first spell in charge. But I tell you what, he is some coach. And with an improving set of players, with young players coming through, I think he could genuinely make a big impact once again at Tottenham. Not as big as the one he had before, but very, very close to that. And I'm a big advocate of saying never go back to your ex, but when your ex is that special and has that big a connection to Spurs, why not? Why not? I'm very much down for a Poch return. And I think it will happen too. I think he'll be the bookies' favourite to return to Tottenham. And I think he will. You know, I genuinely think he will. I don't think he'll get a job better than that after his failed tenure at PSG. And yeah, go ahead and get Poch back, Spurs, because I think it's going to be magnificent. Who do you think should replace Antonio Conte at Tottenham? Let me know in the comments below. I've been Chris Stonadge. This is the Stonadge channel. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.